going to be 12 and 13.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot to say about either one of them.
There's not a lot. There's a lot to say about 12. It's just
there's a whole lot to say about 12. Well, there is some good about it.
And if you look back in my channel, there is a video by a friend of ours by the name of Matt, who does a review on Final Fantasy 12. He dubs it Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy, fuck it, I'm going to sleep. So that it should set the tone.
Well, it plays like an MMO.
Oh god, yeah. I hate MMOs so badly.
See, 12 is the only one that I really want the international mix. Because in the international mix, it's not one license board for all characters.
License board.
You literally there are literally license boards by class. Yeah. And when you get a character into your party, the first time you level up, you pick which class, and then that class is removed from the options, and so everybody ends up being different with different license boards. That would have made the development of the characters a little bit more interesting. Yeah. The combat is very non-existent because
the game plays itself. The game is masturbating.
It can play itself. It doesn't always play itself.
But I played it without the thing because I just refused to use it, and it was annoying to do that because, yeah. But that game's so bad. So,
but yeah, you've got.
I mean, it was like, let's just take the story of Star Wars because that's really what it felt like they ripped off.
The story of Star Wars ripped off other things too. So.
Well, I'm not saying that's not the case, but I mean that's just really what I felt like. It's like, okay, so and so's the blah. Balthmir's Han Solo. He has a Wookiee companion, which the Wookiee companion has bunny ears. I mean, that's what it really felt like.
The Wookiee companion not only has bunny ears, was built like a
brick house,
a beautiful brick house at that.
She didn't do anything for me, but I don't know. I just it makes me feel dirty and not in the good way.
The story is weird because the main character is not the character that's the main character of the game. The main characters are it's
Vaughn and Penelope or whatever.
Well, those are the characters that you play as, but they're literally your introduction to, what is it, Balthazar or
Balthmir and Fran?
Balthmir and Fran.
And there's Captain Bosk of Dalmasca.
Well, there's Captain Bosk and Ash are the two leads.
Okay.
It's their story.
Yeah.
And how Balthier, or whatever his name is, I cannot remember it. It's been that long since I've played it.
Well, you're doing yourself a favor, frankly, almost.
It's their story, and you are basically a side character that's there for the ride, who eventually takes over for the Sky Pirate, which is actually a really cool twist. I do like that.
I never got that far.
I never beat the game, but I know that's what happens because that's what Revenant Wings is about. Is Vaughn and Penelope take over for Sky Pirate.
Who's Sky Pirate?
Dude and Fran.
Oh, did they get killed or something?
No, they just take over for them. They retire. Or he retires and
I don't remember. That was the first game that the ending battle music wasn't really in every time because they went to that MMO style bullshit. It did play like once or twice in like these special battles, but it's like, really, you're doing this to me? And it wasn't even in 13 at all, which is a great prelude into Final Fantasy 13, the 40-hour hallway.
With one area that's open, followed immediately by more hallway.
Yeah, so it's a 40-hour hallway, or a 20-hour hallway.
13
with
is...
more with a little open area.
13 is better than 12.
That's not very hard.
I liked I mean, I got all the way to the end of 13, and the only reason I've not beat 13, and this has to go on record.
Same reason I didn't.
Is because, well, I don't know if it's the same reason you didn't. I got all the way to the end, and then my freaking PlayStation 3 died.
My Xbox red ringed. That's the reason I
didn't. And then
red ring and Xbox.
And then when it got back to, well, you can play this again now that you've got a new PlayStation 3, but don't have your old save file.
Yeah, that's not.
And I was literally on the last chapter. I was just like...
I was outside. I was at the final save point before the final boss.
I wasn't too far off from that.
And I fought the final boss like once, and then I didn't beat him, which, whoop-de-doo, try again. And then like a few days later is when the Xbox red ringed, and That was, I think, the end of my first Xbox, which I'm on number 3 right now.
I don't know.
So, I mean, it was.
I was here when you got the red ring of Doom the night of GTA 4.
Well, yeah, I remember that.
You were pissed off.
Yeah, I threw my cell phone by a friend of ours' face that far. And I wasn't throwing it at him, I was throwing it at the wall. And I usually am not that angry of a person. I'm angry, but not in that kind of outburst sense.
But no, back on track.
Yeah.
I liked 13, even if it was a hallway. And it was a 40-hour tutorial. That game does not fully unlock everything until you hit the open area.
Yeah. And
then it's just like, oh, and now we're done teaching you shit. But the combat, despite it being fairly on rails, is actually...
The combat system was fun.
It was. The level up system's a complete illusion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's blocked.
It's the only time I've ever had a level up, a game's level up system that made me wish for something more like this. Because this doesn't lie to me. This plays with my head. And I just knocked everything over. Yay!
I just leave it worth into this anyway.
Yeah, I know. But I can't leave it. But anyway,
and have you played 13 too yet?
I haven't. I've watched videos of it played. I own it because it's a Final Fantasy and it's the next one in the series, and I will own Lightning Returns, and I'll eventually get to playing it, but I've got to quit playing Kingdom Hearts and Ni no Kuni, and I've got Eterian Odyssey 1 and 2, and...
You got a long list of shit to play.
Yeah, I do. It's not high. That is not high on my list.
Not to mention videos to edit.
Yeah, there's that too. I mean, I've got all these videos to do too.
Because we've shot so much stuff for you people and you don't even know them.
And then, side note, we have Tactics, and I could go on forever on Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tic Tacs.
Yeah, you didn't like it, I loved it.
It's strategy.
It is one of the few games...
I like permadeath stuff, so...
It's one of the very few games where everybody has their own completely unique way of playing. No, and it was great because until they did the whole, until they re-released it on the
GBA?
PSP.
PSP.
The big thing was always, what? My party is better than your party. No, my party is better than your party. No, my party would do this to your party. And then they released it on the PSP with multiplayer, and I went, now you can prove it.
That's like a Minds Bigger contest went wrong.
And so that was always my thing.
Well, I think we have come to the end of this train. I mean, we'll just mention a few other things. We found Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which was basically my first RPG kind of thing, which wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but wasn't bad. And then Dirge of Cerberus, which was really a first-person. It was a third-person shooter. Yeah. Wasn't great, but I played through it once. I enjoyed it.
And then there's the other ones that aren't up here. I don't have Tactics 2, Tactics Advance or Tactics 2 up here.
Or Crisis Core.
Or we don't have Crisis Core.
There was on the PSP.
I don't have the remake of Tactics either sitting up here, but
I think that really covers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if the Final Fantasy is a great series, keep in mind these are just opinions. People are going to differ.
It's internet. Opinions happen. That does.
But, I mean, honestly, if you're interested in the series and you want to see the best that it has to offer, you're pretty much right in the middle is where you want to start.
Your Super Nintendo and your PlayStation era,
yep, basically. That's basically it. I mean, you don't really need to go much further than 10.
And you definitely don't need to do 10, 12.
10, 12?
10, 12.
10, 12.
Hey, it could have. But anyways, I'm John.
And I'm Robert.
Like, favorite, subscribe, and become a Retro Ranger with us today.